All right, so I'm Kyle Fuller from Tint Pro in Bonaire, Georgia. Today we're going to be tinting this arch window. Yeah, because normally, so like in my van, it's obviously set up different. Like I would cut this in my van this way, but like if I'm in like a commercial setting and I had an arch window or a residential setting, so like the main thing I'll do, I'll fold the film in half and I'll just take it. I'll put something underneath it like a chiseler or something like that. And I come right outside.
I like the chisel there. That's a good idea.
That way you can't chance cutting into any type of flooring, anything like that. All right. So I put the film to film versus clear to clear. That way the film will stick to itself. If you do clear to clear, it will slide around. So then you might have to worry about your cut being out of place, which actually I need to roll it from this side. But I am. Got all types of stuff in my way because I'm not used to it.
So I typically will take this and it actually like rests right here. It's real nice.
Okay. Yeah, so for an arch window, the main thing I see with beginners struggling is getting rid of the extra material. The extra material trying to hang over. As soon as it gets wet, it likes to fall over itself. And then if you're up 8 foot on a ladder, 6 foot on a ladder, that's usually where the arch windows are. Then you're chasing it off the ladder. So I'll let you hold that. So we're going to start by cleaning the window. All right, we need some water pressure here.
That line didn't have any soap in it, so if you want to clear it a little, I just put some solution in.
We got you. I'm using some things I haven't used before, so it's going to be a little learning curve for me as well. I'm using the True Spray bag. First time using it. I always like to clean from the top to the bottom, let gravity do its job. Overlap all my patterns. I'm going to spray out the bottom of this window. Whoop. Wipe that top edge. This particular window, I just like to follow the shape. We'll come back, re-wipe that edge. Make sure the bottom's cleaned out, which this one's still got some of the such fresh construction here.
Yeah, this is the first time doing this window, so that's nice and extra dirty.
Oh yeah, got a bunch of dirt in it. Like a brand new house. We'll wipe that out one more time. All right. So being that I'm right-handed, I'm usually on a ladder rolling this. I already can tell I'm struggling with this guy here. And since I'm usually up on a ladder doing these windows, I'm going to roll my film almost halfway out.
I do the same thing.
Yep. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to go ahead and roll it to the middle of the arch. It's uncoiling on me a little bit here. And then my pattern's about 1 inch big all the way around. And then I'll just make sure to kind of adding some water to that film just in case you're working with hot glass. Don't want it to immediately tack and leave a glue pop. And see right here, if you had all the extra film, that would be hanging back and most likely it already tried to roll off the glass. So take the clear off here. I'll go and tack it. I like to make sure it's not going to move.
And one little detail I like you did there is you're using your extra hand to kind of guide it all the way around.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Sometimes on the arches, they can kind of push back and then they'll end up overlapping or bunching into the seal. And a window like this, which is considered new construction, it's going to have a little dirt that it can pull into it. So you just want to make sure that pattern fits first or right the first time. So sometimes if the glass is super hot, I'm going to take my cleaner squeegee and I'll just go ahead and push the water out just to go ahead and get it to where I don't have to work it so fast. I can also check, make sure I don't have any dog hairs or just anything that can be floating around, get you one good glance at it. And then I'll just kind of start in the middle and go down. And then I'll go finish one side out and then I'm going to go to the other. And I'll kind of, since I'm going at a curve, I'll overlap, double check, make sure I don't have any water trapped in there. And then as soon as I get here, I'll kind of just go straight down.
Have you used that Fusion?
Yes, I use all the Fusion. I've been using the red blade mostly on my flat glass stuff.
Yeah, I haven't used that one yet. You like it?
I do. I do. So window's squeegeed out. I'm pretty positive that there's no extra water sitting in it. I'll end up grabbing another paper towel. And I usually use a chiseler, which, did I leave the chiseler down there?
Yep.
I'll usually use a chiseler and kind of just lock that edge.
You normally using a chiseler to lock your edges?
I always have a chiseler on me. So some people carry a triangle or just whatever.
Yeah.
This is the tool that I normally have in my pocket. So
Okay.
I just kind of go with it. I don't use the same one on automotive because I destroy it in flat glass. And so I'll have two different purposes.
Yeah.
So
That's why I like tinting with other installers just to see what different tools they're using because there is so many different ways you can.
yeah, I mean, because, you know, and then even after I try to dry it up, I'll still come back and I'll try to run the edge of it up underneath that plastic seal. Usually you can unless it's wood framed. I have a piece of debris coming out there. But then before you get down, usually off the ladder, you're going to go over it, wipe it up, make sure you don't leave any smudges on it. If you need to, come back with glass cleaner. But I like to try to get all that done before I step down. So, but I attack these windows different from the way that I attack like a normal rectangle or square window.
Yeah.
And the reason why is just because that arch, you want to run everything down, where I'll tee it off on the top of a square window, do the T pattern, lock in the middle, and then I squeegee everything to the outside.
I think I squeegee that the exact same way.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one, the Blue Beast one was the one I haven't used yet. This is what I was asking about. I've used the red line a bunch.
Yeah, I like it so far.
Yeah.
Obviously, first window I've done with it.
Our guys seem to like it.
I use all Fusion tools. They're my favorite. So they're my favorite handles and whatnot. So everyone's got their own preference, but that's mine.
Yeah, so the things that you did that I do almost identically, pre-trim it. I might go about doing it a different way. I actually really like the chiseler.
Yeah.
But how you laid it, like definitely having it pre-trimmed in some kind of way so you don't have the extra film, I think is huge.
So a big deal with the guys that I'm teaching, like my newer guys, I'll usually cut the window an inch big, top to bottom. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of take a piece of string, say the window's 60 inches wide. I'll take a piece of string, 30 inches. I start at the middle and I'll use this like a compass. I'll take a Sharpie and I'll round it to the top and then do that. And then they can come back either with scissors or whatever they prefer. I try to, when I'm in somebody's business or house, I don't like to ever have them see me cutting close to their floor, their carpet. It makes them uneasy. That's why I always make sure to put something there to where they can see I'm not cutting into anything. The blade's going into this. It does give them peace of mind if they're around, but I try to do everything. I have a van that I work out of that's a high roof, and so I do all my cutting, my film handler, and everything's in there. And so I would have done this in my van at home. So
yeah, that's similar to what we're doing now. We've got everything gets cut, sent out on a job. One of the things I wanted to, like I've been talking to them about that I think we're going to add is make templates for these different common sizes and use the big mirrors that we have on the wall to where you can just take anything that's arched, throw it on the mirror, throw a template over it and just knock it out real quick. But typically how I do the Sharpie thing, but I'll actually just use a tape measure.
Okay, yeah.
So if I know the height of the window and the exact width, I'll measure to the middle of the pattern, hit it with a Sharpie, and then I'll just take the tape measure and I'll use the Sharpie and I'll just do a couple dots.
Yeah, because if you do it that way, you've made your pattern big, your dots are getting cut out. So whether they're on the clear side or the film side.
I put them on the liner side.
Yeah, but it wouldn't matter at that point. So the one thing that I've been thinking about doing, we don't pre-cut any flat glass film on a plotter. But for arch windows, for my guys, especially the way that you do it, you could actually probably really benefit from running some of that film through a plotter.
We've talked about that too.
If you have because we run into a lot of the cabin style houses where they have that like big triangle at the top, and then the other window's more square, but it has the notch cut out the side. And as accurate as you guys take the measurements and bring them back, if you were to put that in the system to exact, and then just bump it the whole window out an inch, it'd be perfectly ready to go by the time you got there. That's something I just thought about that right now as far as those windows.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are still cutting film on the job.
Yeah.
That's how we did it forever. But now that we've scaled up a little bit, and we have crews going out and we have one dedicated person for cutting everything up. Guys come in the morning and grab the job. It's already cut. Just go. So as we've scaled up, we've realized that helps tremendously. But cutting the arches might even be better than what I was talking about. A
big thing that I've been running into is we go out to a lot of businesses that an architect or some general contractor has sent us the architectural drawings, and they're like, there's roughly 215 square foot of glass. You can go to the measurements, but no one has the exact measurements of the glass. So as long as I know what roll size to bring, I do like the way my van's set up where I have the film handler in it. As long as I know I have enough material and I have somewhere to cut it, I would always prefer to do it the same way you guys do it. I want to bring each piece of film taped up into the job and set at its designated area, and that way there's just no confusion. Yeah, that's one advantage for us is you're probably having to travel a lot farther than we are for some of these commercial jobs. Nothing in Vegas is far, so even when we do have a commercial job that they give us the measurements and we might bid it that way,
I try to get out there before the install to
Get those
verify
measurements,
everything
yeah.
in TintWiz, and then the labels get printed. And
The interaction with people lately, everybody is so on the go. I still, on residential jobs, I want to meet with one of the homeowners. I want to make sure that I'm understanding how to fulfill all their needs.
yeah,
But a lot of the times I'm dealing with so many more general contractors now where they're just like, look, I waited till the last minute. I need it done now. Can you do it?
yeah,
And so you just have to price it based on per square foot. And you just say, hey, this is what we charge per square foot. You're saying it's $215. I'm going to measure the windows exact. My price per square foot has my waste already built into it. And so if it's not $215 and it's $223, I'm charging you for $223. So theirs is a rough estimate where ours is always going to be exact. I just make sure that they understand where we're at before we start.
yeah.
So,
Makes sense. Well, that's Tinting an Arch Window with Kyle Fuller out of Georgia.
that's right.